Happy Tuesday, FlossTube. Hello, crafty friends. My name is Caroline. Welcome back, Daily Crafty Chat. I am recording here in London, Ontario, Canada, and you can find me in a few different places on the interwebs, on Instagram at Off the Grid Needlearts, and also at Evertotes, which is my project bag business, and on Facebook with the Friday Off the Grid Facebook group. So, day eight of Flossmas. So I have a couple of holiday themed things, whips that I've been working on. I got back to my 30 minutes of stitching this morning with my coffee. So I have a little bit of progress on my mitten that I was working on. And you can see I had to use my Beans on Toast needle minder from Monica. I think that's so fun. And it just makes me smile when I see it. So I filled in, this morning, I filled in the teal right up to the red diamonds right there. And I think I did a couple of rows over here, filled in the rest of the snowflake, and that was about it. So it's interesting how, you know, just half an hour a day, you can really see the progress and watch it grow. So that's kind of fun. I worked on my socks last night because I couldn't sleep. I could not sleep. And socks are one of those, when you're at a certain point with your socks, you can just go round and round and round. So that's what I did. So I did one more stripe on my Timber Yarns 12 Days of Christmas sock. So I completed the yellow stripe. My Smarty sock, yellow stripe is done. Next color is this fun blue. So that's what's going to be coming up next. There's the skein. So funny as each color disappears from the outside. I'm working my way from the outside of the ball. I'm a little bit, I know I've caked it up with a center pull. That's where you can pull the yarn from the middle of the cake. But I prefer to pull my yarn from the outside of the ball because I'm fussy about how the cake feels as it starts to collapse from the inside out. It bothers me. It's just one of those funny little quirks that, you know, it's just personal preference. I love the shape of the cake that the yarn winder makes, the ball winder, but I don't, so even though I make a center pull ball, I prefer to still pull from the outside of the ball. I could knit, you can knit 2 socks at a time if you want to, one from the outside and one from the inside. I have done that before too. But again, I just don't like how it kind of collapses on itself from the inside. It's such a pretty yarn. I've been enjoying that very, very much. And then the sock that I just kept going round and round and round on was my Leo and Roxy October 2019 Sock of the Month Club yarn. There we go. That's the side. Yeah. 2000. Oh, that was upside down, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. Part of it was October Sock of the Month Club from last year. It's an 80/20 merino nylon, and I told you I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep, so I just kept going round and round and round. I think I must have knit until 1:30, 2 in the morning. I just wasn't sleepy. And I, you know, normally, because I purposefully did not listen to podcasts, YouTube, nothing. I just sat and knit. And usually that does the trick. Usually I'll start to feel a little bit sleepy. But I just, and I you know, I hadn't had any extra coffee last night. It was just one of those things where my brain was just racing and I had lots of things to think about and on my mind and just wasn't sleepy. So I just enjoyed my sock and I had an extra cup of coffee this morning. So I love how this is pooling, how those colors are sort of pooling together in sort of swirls. So the lighter side, and then it goes into the dark again, and just all the way around. It's just so pretty. I love it. These are going to be really fun to wear. So yeah, I love that. So that's what I worked on since the last time that I saw you. Mostly some sock knitting and a little bit, 30 minutes of cross stitch this morning on my mitten. I did not get to the binding on my quilt yet. That's going to be a weekend project for me, and thank you so much to everyone who sent me emails and messages and comments on the video. I can absolutely guarantee that you lot know your stuff, and it's just so handy being able to ask the question and, you know, have everybody send you advice and opinions on, you know, what works for them. And I even had a few comments where you took the time to actually write down step by step what I should do, and very, very clearly it was amazing. So I still, and again, I read everything. I have to go back and hit the hearts, because I always feel like I have to say something. So if I hit the heart, you know, I've read it, but then I haven't responded to you, which seems a bit rude. So do you know what does that make sense? So I read them all, but then I think, oh, I have to say something. So don't hit the heart yet, because then you'll know you've read it, but you haven't said anything. So it's a chicken and egg thing, because then I have to remember to go back and let you know that, hey, that was so awesome. And because I want to have a whole conversation, and I don't have time to have a whole conversation. I'm too chatty. It's okay. It's all good. Anyways, just a gigantic, enormous thank you to everyone. And I must go back in and go over all of that information again. So there were a few names that popped up in there that were repeated over and over again. And so I would highly recommend, if anyone else out there is interested in doing some quilting, there was some really great advice on tutorials of where to start and how to go about it, and whose videos were really, really helpful. And so that was awesome. So thank you so much. I haven't watched any of them yet myself. That's why I'm not going to recommend any myself, because first of all, I don't feel like I have the authority to recommend anyone, since I have zero experience doing it. However, the comment field on yesterday's video is a treasure trove of really great information, and a great place to start if you were hoping to do something similar with quilting. Wonderful. Ah, you guys are a clever lot. And that leads me to my very next question. I have another question for you. You all by now have heard me talk about my friend Josh, because she is the woman who I am making the quilt for. Josh lives in the Netherlands, and she has neurosarcoidosis, and she's having a tough time. Frankly, her medications had stopped working, so she is undergoing, she'd undergone some steroid treatment last week, and she's currently recovering at home from that treatment. So Josh and I were chit-chatting back and forth via email, and she happened to mention to me that up in her attic she had an old sampler from stitched by the women in her family, now I'm not sure, Josh, whether it was your family, your maternal family, or your husband's family, but it doesn't really matter. Since you are a family unit, it's your family as well. But there was a sampler there, and her husband brought it down from the attic because since Josh and I are friends, and now she has, you know, cross stitching on the mind as well. Josh doesn't stitch. She is a knitter, and in fact she's also a knitwear designer. You've heard me talk about her designs before. Josh Moll, M-O-L-L, and you can find her designs on Ravelry. And Josh was saying, oh, I have this sampler in the attic, and it has, I have to read it to you, because I want to make sure that I get the provenance correct here of who stitched it. Okay. It was started by her godmother's great-grandmother. Okay, so her godmother was the woman who the fabric came from. Remember I told you that all of this fabric that I'm making this quilt from, the majority of it all came from Josh herself, that she sent to me, and it was from her godmother's stash that she inherited the lot of when her godmother passed away, and they were very, very close to each other. And so this, okay, so it wasn't your husband's, it was your godmother's family. It was started by her godmother's great-grandmother and finished by her grandmother in 1861. Isn't that wonderful? I mean, that's really special. That's really, really special. So she says that it's quite dirty. The sampler itself is quite dirty. So she is wondering if we have any tips on how to clean it. So you can imagine this was finished by the daughter of the great-grandmother. So it was a grandmother of her godmother, great-great-grandmother. So this piece is probably quite fragile, quite old, and she would like to, Josh would like to hang it in her studio, but she would like to be able to clean it first before she does so. So what I am not an expert on any kind of restoration tactics or, you know, correct way to do things. So that's really what I'm asking here, because clearly I'm sure that anyone here who loves the history behind samplers and, you know, that rich tradition steeped in usually the women in the family, and this has been passed down. Very special treasure. She'd like to care for it. She would like to enjoy it. So how would she best go about cleaning it carefully so that it is best preserved and, you know, cherished? Because Josh herself has a son and a daughter who I would imagine that one day she would like to pass it down to as well. So any good tips, any good advice that you can offer, please leave in the comments below, and I really look forward to reading what you have to say. Okay, I received some happy mail today. Completely unexpected. I stopped at the mailbox and there was a package in there, and I thought, what the heck is this? And I pulled it out and I saw that it is from Martha. So Martha, your package made it all the way up here. Now Martha is, as she says, just across the lake. So Martha, it arrived safe and sound, and you are gonna laugh when I tell you, because as soon as I opened the package I knew what it was. This, about a year ago, I received a package from Maria Kutzner, a really just phenomenal gift package, and in there was a box of Trader Joe's winter wake up tea. And I just fell in love with that tea. It is delicious. It's a little bit spicy, like winter spices. Winter spices is the perfect way to describe it. And I literally savored that tea. I only drank it very rarely because I liked it so much. I wanted to stretch it out, and I knew it would probably be a long time before I got some more. And Martha has sent me a box of this tea. And that scent, just that smell, it's wonderful. So if you like a spicy cup of tea and you live in the States and you've never tried this before and you have a Trader Joe's, this is a really, really delicious tea. I normally would take a little bit of sweetener in my tea and milk in a black tea, but I don't find that this requires any sweetener at all. I just drink this with a little bit of milk, and it is absolutely delicious. Now Martha also included in here a couple of bags of her favorite tea. I have never seen this tea before, and it looks wonderful. So this is Fraser. Now I watch Frasier all the time on television, but I think this is Fraser because there's no I after the S, so I think I'm saying it correctly. Fraser tea, And she says that's a local tea, like from her state, I think, right? From Michigan? It's from Michigan. Yes, Martha's from Michigan. And so this is spicy chocolate chai. You all know that I love chocolate chai tea. And oh, that just looks so good. And this one smells amazing. This is hot, spicy cinnamon. And this one smells so good. Hot, spicy cinnamon, Fraser tea, just beautiful. So after I'm done recording this, before I start to edit, I'm gonna go and make a cup of tea so that I can have that while I'm editing the video. Now, also tucked in this package was a needle minder. Now, it's almost like you and Monica were on the same wavelength, but this needle minder, so Monica gifted me yesterday, I shared yesterday, she gifted me with the most wonderful coffee themed needle minders, and I am thoroughly spoiled for needle minders. This needle minder is completely different. You have to see this. Okay, so here it is. Look at that. It is beautiful. Look at those colors. Now, do you see that hole at the bottom? Guess what that is? That's for floss. Isn't that clever? I have never seen a needle minder like this before. You can use it as a thread keep. You can thread your floss through there, keep it on your project, and it's a magnet as well as a thread keep. That is just so clever. So Martha says that she found this from Angela Stitches. Angela Stitches has a YouTube channel. I've just subscribed today because Martha told me about her. So I went over, popped over, and it looks like she has some really great videos on working with perforated paper. So if you've ever been interested in trying those Mill Hill bead kits or stitching generally on perforated paper, that reminds me, Krista Gramer of Just Stitching Along, who designed the Miss Margaret Ann Rollo chart that we are stitching the sampler, and also there were the Christmas ornaments on the back. In fact, here it is. This is the one I'm talking about right here. So this ornament is part of that chart, and Krista is stitching this on perforated paper. And I just think that that is such a clever idea. So, oops, there. I think there was one of my hairs on it. So pardon, excuse me. Let's clean it up there and show you again. It's so pretty. Look at that. This finishing work was done by Faye Rigsby. And I still have the information on that in the drop down box below if you're looking for finishing services. Oh, so pretty. But this needle minder. Okay, so Angela Stitches. I noticed that she had some videos on showing on how she works on perforated paper. Also how she was doing this really pretty. It was going to be an angel with wings. And so the wings are attached. And I know that somebody just recently on the Friday Off the Grid group did the same thing, and it was so pretty. And the name of who that was is escaping me, but this was a different angel. So if you're on the Friday Off the Grid group and you just scroll through, but it was a couple of weeks ago, I think, or last weekend, and she was doing the same thing. So it's two pieces of perforated paper. There's one in the front that has the angel on it, and then there's the wings are a separate piece of perforated paper with the stitching done on it, and then you clip that out, and then you attach that to the front piece of stitched work. And it's just so she was showing her work. It was really quite neat. And her Etsy shop, where Martha found this super clever needle minder floss keeper, is called Stitch with Coffee on Etsy. Doesn't get any more perfect than that. Stitch with Coffee. So yeah, just loop the thread through the hole. Awesome. Martha, I love it. So this is going to go on my, I thought that I might be able to put this on my Historisch Stiekmuster, the Colors of Venice, because it's silk, and you could just put the one, each block uses only 3 colors, and so you could easily loop the 3 colors that you were using through the floss keep, and then just keep it on the front of your stitching. Isn't that neat? That's really neat. You know, I am growing quite a collection of needle minders. I love it. So I have to show you my beans on toast one more time. Beans on toast. Yes, we always, my friend Louise and I, the Fiber Friends, we always joke because we used to, we would meet sometimes at Thread and I, my old local needlework shop, and we would be chatting about if I was dropping something off to be framed, or yeah, in fact the last one was, remember my Christmas garden by Blackbird Designs? We still haven't moved it. We still haven't finished decorating the tree. We're getting there. The tree is half decorated. Did I tell you that story already? John and I went away for the weekend, and on our way home, because we had asked the kids to decorate the tree for fun, and John said, oh, when we get home the tree will be all decorated. And I said, you think so? Really? You think so? Because I bet you they haven't decorated the tree. And so we had a little friendly bet going that the kids had not, or had decorated the tree, and the tree was half decorated. So Nicholas had put on all of the glass ball ornaments. We have some old ones from John's parents that they used to have on their tree, and some newer ones that we've collected over the years. So the glass balls are all on the tree, but that's it. So the lights are on, the glass balls are on. I need to put the trees, I need to figure out the tree skirt, and we still have to decorate the rest of the tree. So between the 4 of us and my father-in-law, sorry, my phone just rang and I have completely lost my train of thought. I know I was talking about needle minders, and I was telling you the tree story and it being half decorated, and oh, between, you know, the 5, including my father-in-law, surely we can get that tree decorated. And then I will show you at nighttime when it's all lit up with all the decorations on it. I'll show you what it looks like, but it's still not done. That's okay, we're getting there. We're just stretching it out. We're enjoying the process. Okay, now, if you are still with me here at the very end of today's video, I have a little, I'll let you in on a little something that I've been working on. It is for my shop, for evertote.com. I make project bags for crafters. Whatever craft you do, I probably would have a bag for it. So I've been working on a little something with another local business, and you will recognize their name because I mention it all the time. So Leo and Roxy of Leo and Roxy Yarn, the owners of the Little Red Mitten, the yarn shop in St. Thomas, Ontario, I started chatting with Carrie. So the business is owned by Carrie and Jolynn. They are the dyers and the owners of the Little Red Mitten. And they actually have a podcast. You can check out their podcast for the Little Red Mitten on YouTube. And Carrie started stitching a few months back, and she was messaging me. She had a few questions about something that she was working on, and I said to her, I said, you know, as a yarn dyer, have you ever thought about dyeing floss? Because, well, your colors are amazing, and you know, I could see them on floss, and I'd love to stitch with them. And I had approached another yarn dyer about a year ago, but she was just too busy at that point to add that sort of thing into her business, and she was not a stitcher, whereas Carrie had sort of caught the stitching bug. And I just kind of threw it out there, and Carrie wrote back and she said, yes, actually, I've been thinking about that. So I will be telling you a little bit more over the next couple of days, but I am going to be offering some floss dyed by Leo and Roxy It is going to be called the Leo and Roxy Floss Collection, and I'm starting out with a 4 skein set that's going to be sold with a bag as the introductory launch of the Leo and Roxy Floss Collection. And I am so excited, and I know that I'm not showing it to you right now, and I know that's a little bit of a tease, but I'm giving you a little heads up because if you've made it till the end of the video, chances are that you've been hanging out with me for a little while, and I wanted to kind of give a couple of days of notice before these items go up in the shop. So there is going to be a shop update on Thursday night, this coming Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I will have 2 styles of bags, and I'll have more information on the fabrics tomorrow. I don't have the sample bags made up yet, so that's actually what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, and I will be showing the floss tomorrow, which is Wednesday. So I'll be showing the floss and showing you the fabrics for the bags tomorrow. This is going to be a pre-order, again, just like the holiday kit was back in September, but I don't have nearly as many sets as I did for the holiday collection. I think I have 65 complete sets of floss. So because this is an introductory sort of introduction to the floss line, and it's sort of a special release with the bag, eventually the floss will be sold separately, and eventually I hope to keep a stock of floss on hand as Carrie and Jolynn dye more colors, dye more floss. I hope to carry it all, and that is what the pegboard is for. And I don't have it hanging up there yet because I'm going to show it to you tomorrow, but I wanted to kind of tell you what I've been working on and what I have coming up. So there are 4 colors of floss, and for the moment, I'm sure many of you know that supply lines have been a real challenge for most thread dyers, for all thread dyers. Anyone, even, you know, if you've tried to order a certain color from Classic Colorworks or Weeks Dye Works, some of their colors are quite back ordered, and you've probably been waiting. I know I've been waiting a few months for a couple of colors that were in the Lila Studio pattern that I was missing. And you know, it's not that the dyer just doesn't get it out to the shops, it's that they're having trouble getting the materials to dye, like the actual floss itself, the undyed floss to dye. So this is a brand new venture for Leo and Roxy to dye this floss, and we're starting it small. So the floss that I have, these sets of 4, it's 1 skein of each color. So it's kind of a nice way to try the floss and see how you like it. I have done some stitching with it. I'm in love with it. I am in love with this floss. It is beautiful. There's a wonderful sheen to the dye. It is wonderful, wonderful floss, and I'm super thrilled, and I'm very proud that I'm going to be able to offer this in the shop and stitch with it myself, and it's hand dyed right here in Ontario, Canada. So more about the colors and the fabrics of the bags will be available tomorrow. Again, I think I have 65 sets of floss that will go with matching bags. This will be, again, and like I said before, this will be a pre-order. And I will have a little bit of help with some of the cut work in the month ahead. So this shop update that's happening on Thursday night, these bags will not make it to you in time for Christmas. These bags will be delivered to you at some point in January. So just being very upfront there about the sort of timeline of this, because this is one of those things about, you know, running a business like this where you are the maker of all of the product. Offering 65 sets, you have to kind of guess, are people going to like this? Or is it going to, are they not going to like it? And you've spent a month sewing and making, and then they don't sell, and then they sit there, and you've kind of, you could have been making other things that people would like. So there's a real, you know, mix of trying to figure out, I love this, will you love it too? And so that's why the bags are not, you know, lined up and just ready to go out the door, because I would like to make things that people want. And I think you're going to love these bags. I love these bags. And the floss is a no-brainer. The floss you are going to love. There's also an extra special little surprise to go with the set, and that is a little gift from me to you within the set, that I have cooked up a little something with Bart Parker Hopper. That's what I always call him. And you can watch he's got videos on YouTube as well. I will link to his channel below. He and his wife Katie do floss-tube videos. Then we have Deanna from Darling Whimsy and Designs out in Newfoundland, Canada. And then we have Michelle Bendy. So, you know, just a little something that we've been working on for a while, and it's all starting to come together. It's all falling into place. And Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the official time when those things will be available in the shop. So again, they're not there right now. I have to do a little bit of more work before they're ready to go in the shop. But I just wanted to let you know what I've been working on and what is coming, because I'm really excited. And I couldn't keep the floss to myself anymore. I had to tell you about it. So I will be sharing some more photos coming up on my Instagram page for the business, which is @evertotes. I have shared a little photo of a small piece of one of the fabrics that will be available in the bag, and that fabric is a lining fabric. So you can have a little wonder at what might the main print be, and there will be 2 styles of fabric. I will show you tomorrow once I have the sample bags made. Okay, so enough of that. But yes, very, 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 very exciting. Very exciting. The floss is wonderful. It really is. It's really, really nice floss. I love it. Okay. Last but not least, the auctions. The auctions that are benefiting Muscular Dystrophy Canada. They are, last week's auctions are still up until tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. They are over on my personal Instagram page, which is @OffTheGrid Needlearts. I still have there are 3 items this week. The Clay by Kim needle minder, which is adorable. You can see photos of the items at the end of this video. Clay by Kim needle minder, and the 2 Taya Gubner kits. One of them is the coffee collection, and the other one is the tea collection. One of those kits doesn't have any bids on it yet, so you could sneak in there. If you loved that kit and you were looking for a little bit of a bargain. There are no bids on it yet. And again, 100% of the proceeds of those auctions is going to be donated directly to Muscular Dystrophy Canada by you. And then once we have proof of your donation, the item that you won is mailed to you. I will have 3 new items up for bid tomorrow afternoon. So just to let you know, just to give you a little heads up what's going to be there briefly, one of them is going to be a 2020 Holiday Evertote Russet Partridge Bag collection. So that is going to be the whole kit and caboodle. That comes with the Russet Partridge Bag that sold out very quickly, that lots more people still wanted. I saved one. I saved one back, and it is specifically to raise money for Muscular Dystrophy Canada. So it comes with a medium project bag plus the notions pouch, the chart, the pattern, beautiful pattern by Krista Gramer, the Miss Margaret Ann Rollo, and a few other accoutrements along with the set as well. So everything that everyone else got in the 2020 holiday collection is included in with the set. So that will be up for auction, as well as, guess what? This is huge. I had a viewer contact me a few weeks back, and she said, I would like to donate something really special for raising money for your charity cause in the month of December. I would like to donate a mug by Charlie Waters and John Valentine for someone to bid on and win. So my Luna mug, if you would like a mug of your own, of your pet, there will be a listing tomorrow when the auctions go live. There will be a listing for a clay and canvas gallery mug, that's capital, so you can get your pet's mug on a mug. There will be a listing for one of these that you will bid on, and the winning bidder will be able to have a mug sent to them, made by John and Charlie. And the anonymous donor will be paying John and Charlie for the mug. So the artists themselves will be paid for their work, and the donor is generously donating one of these beautiful, beautiful items. And you will be donating the money to Muscular Dystrophy Canada. So I think that's a pretty great item up for auction. Now, again, you will not be able to have it in time for Christmas, unfortunately. But at some point in the new year, and let's face it, these never go out of style. Look at her cute little face. I love the little teeth on here. So that is prairiepotter.com. And John Valentine is the potter, and Charlie Waters is the artist. And I think they do a smashing job. There is a little paw print on the edge. Now, I've seen a couple of different styles of these mugs. I had another viewer who sent me a photograph of her mug that she received, and it's so beautiful. And it was slightly different style, and it had a black base on the bottom. Maybe not quite as big of a coffee mug. Ellen bought this and sent this one to me, and Ellen knows how much I like a humongous cup of coffee. So anyways, so that is going to be up for auction tomorrow. We will also have one more Taya Guvner kit, also donated by Holly, the same Holly who generously donated the coffee and tea samplers last week. We have a kit, the London kit, full complete London kit, going to be going up as well. So those 3 items will be available tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's just the starting date of the auction. The auction will last an entire week, and 100% of that money will go to Muscular Dystrophy Canada. So you may remember my friend Gerald, Ginger Gerald Stitcher, who is also doing daily Flossmas videos. He is stitching London. His is on a black fabric, so he swapped out the fabric in his, and it is a stunning design. Stunning. Just a stunning design. So that's going to be available tomorrow. The auctions from last week will be ending at 11 a.m. sharp, and then I will notify the winners, and we will go from there. The other way that you can help us raise some money for Muscular Dystrophy Canada is to purchase a chart, the 2020 Holiday Flossmas ornament designed by our friend Patty Brake of 4 Boys and a Newfoundland Girl. It is the image that you see at the beginning of every one of these Flossmas videos that I do. And that is the chart. It's a $5 Canadian chart, and 50% of that money goes directly to, it's going to be donated directly from Patty to Muscular Dystrophy Canada. And I think that we've raised over $300 already just in charts alone, which is phenomenal. So thank you to everyone who has purchased a chart and is considering placing a bid on the auction items. The both the mug and the partridge kit are going to be a bid what you want item. I will place a dollar value on the Taya Gubner chart kit, but those other two items are going to be a bid what you want. I will start it at a certain dollar number, and then you just tag the person who bid before you, and you can bid the amount that you wish to pay to donate for the item. And that I think that'll work. Okay, I think that's it. It is already, what time is it? It is almost 5 o'clock. I have my flute student that I need to teach this evening, and Nicholas has his bassoon lesson. I haven't sorted out dinner or anything like that, and I still have some bags that must be packaged this evening and sent on their merry way to their new homes. So I still have a bit of work to do this evening. I'll show you the floss tomorrow. It's so good. It is so good. I am just, when I started stitching with it this weekend. I took it with me to the hotel when John and I went away for the weekend, and I literally could not get the grin off my face. That's how good it is. It's good. It's really good. And the colors. I'll show you tomorrow. I will show you the floss tomorrow. I promise. Okay, so that is it for me today. I hope you're well. I hope you're happy. If you've made it all the way to the end here, I hope that you enjoyed visiting with me as much as I enjoyed chatting with you. Take care. Have a great night. Luna's telling me it's dinner time, so I better go to feed her. Have a great night. Happy stitching, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.